Hi, my name is Brad Thomas, and welcome to Discovering Your Greatness, the video series companion to my book, The Greatness Revolution. Oh, the stories we tell. Storytelling is as old as humanity. The greatest sages throughout the ages told their followers stories. And today, we'll be telling stories to ourselves about all the events that transpire throughout our day. The two most common stories we tell ourselves are about being right and looking good. We are consumed with being right. Just look at our political elections. We see ad after ad about who is right and who is wrong. We are consumed with looking good, pretending to be someone we aren't to please others or trying to outshine others. Some people care more about being right than being successful. Events happen. They're just facts. These events can be positive or negative, and we determine if they're positive or negative. How? We create the meaning to the events. We write the story about the event. Every time an event occurs, Psychology 101 tells us we attach the story we've written to that event. Once we've attached the story, we will replay that story every time we think of that event. Once we've written and attached the story to the event, we will either consciously or subconsciously look for other events in our lives proving the story we've written. Sometimes we'll even create events that prove the story we've written. If the stories are positive, then great, no problem. But if the stories we've written are negative and don't serve us, they can potentially paralyze us or ruin our ability to walk in our greatness. And they can lead to our self-destruction. The stories we tell matter. They are the fulcrums on which our whole life swings. When we attach stories that don't serve us, often the first question out of our mouth is, "What's wrong with me?" But if you ask what's wrong, you won't ask for very long. Instead, we must ask, is this story serving me? If the answer is no, we must exchange the story. This involves the shift. We must change our minds regarding the events in our lives. For example, I coached high school basketball for 14 years, in which I experienced very difficult moments in the form of cutting kids from the team or politics with parents or administration, and mistakes that I made in judgment. When I finally decided to stop coaching, because it was time for me to move on, I realized I had attached this story to coaching. You will never be good enough. You will never measure up. You are a failure. Does this story serve me? Obviously not. I had to change the story. The truth regarding my coaching experience was this. 10 of my 14 years coaching, my teams had winning seasons. 4 of those seasons, we took first place in league. 2 of my years as a varsity coach, my teams won league titles. We advanced to the second or third rounds of playoffs those 2 years. I was coach of the year twice. I continue to hear from players about the births of their children or a message saying thank you for the lessons they learned and the fun they had. With these realizations, I exchanged my story. You are a successful coach. Yes, you made mistakes and had lapses in judgment, but you attached the proper emotional response to those events and then let go of the emotion and learned from those mistakes and got better. You have influenced others for the better and made a difference in many people's lives, empowering them to bring their greatness to their community and world. Now, will that story serve me? Yes. Recent studies in neuroscience are changing the way we understand the brain. These recent studies show it's never too late to change the stories. In our brains are pathways between the event and the story we attach to the event. The more similar events occur in our lives, the more the story pathway is used and consequently strengthened. This pathway will never go away. It will always exist in our brain. but neuroscience has discovered we have the absolute ability to create new pathways between the event and the alternate story. In other words, we can change the story we attach to an event, and our brains create an entirely new pathway. As we tell the new story more, it strengthens. As we tell the old story less, it weakens. We have it within our own minds to change stories, even stories decades old, and thus change the way we see ourselves and the world we inhabit, which leads us to changing what we do in our lives. And what begins in the mind travels to the heart, and what rests in the heart determines who we are and what we do. What are the stories you're telling? Are they serving you? If not, get rid of the old stories and write new stories. You can do this. And remember, walk in your greatness and have a great day.